Hello all. So today we are continuing our conversation in chapter 9. This is part 2, and we're talking more about understanding behavior change and talking about the theories associated with that. Here we go. We have to understand behavioral change. And so we'll talk a little bit about the theories behind that, and that these theories that form the foundation of understanding why people start and stick with healthy behaviors like exercise and why they sometimes don't. So these are the different theories. We're going to go through each one of them. And the idea behind it is to help individuals adopt and maintain healthy behaviors like physical activity. So we need to understand how behavior change happens and what motivates or prevents it. So let's explore the major theories that guide our understanding of behavior change. So the classic learning theory is more of a behaviorist approach, and really one of the key tenets to it is behavior is learned through conditioning. So our learning occurs by forming associations between stimuli and responses. Repetition and reinforcement shape our behavior over time through small steps. And so complex behaviors are broken down into smaller, manageable tasks, and each component is taught and reinforced before progressing to the next step. It's also often called successive approximation. And it's important to use reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is praise and rewards that helps to strengthen our desired behavior. Negative reinforcement is removing an unpleasant stimulus and can also encourage behavior. Both are immediate rewards to reinforce early progress, and long-term incentives to sustain motivation are important. And that incremental progression toward mastery. So learners gradually move toward the target behavior as confidence and skills build. And each success increases motivation and perceived competence. So this theory underpins many physical education and coaching strategies, especially when teaching fundamental motor skills or establishing exercise routines. Now, the health belief model explains why individuals adopt or avoid health behaviors. And the core assumption is a person's decision to engage in a health behavior such as exercise, diet, or screening depends on their perceptions of key factors. The first of those is perceived severity. How serious are the consequences of the condition of heart disease or diabetes? For example, if I don't exercise, I could develop high blood pressure. And what is the perceived susceptibility? How likely am I to get the illness or experience the problem? For example, my family has a history of heart disease, so I am at risk as well. And then the perceived benefits. What are the positive outcomes of taking action? For example, exercising regularly will help me maintain a healthy weight and avoid chronic illness. And then the perceived barriers. What are the obstacles to action? For example, I don't have time to work out, or gym memberships are expensive. Another key component is self-efficacy. Our confidence and our ability to successfully perform the behavior is important. The higher our self-efficacy, the more likely we are to adopt and stick with the behavior. So we use the health belief model to design interventions that increase awareness and educate and reduce barriers and build confidence. For example, we educate about personal risk and we highlight the benefits of regular physical activity. We try to address the barriers with practical solutions like time-efficient workouts and low-cost options, and incorporating goal setting and skill building to enhance self-efficacy. Now, the social cognitive theory was developed by Albert Bandura, and it emphasizes the dynamic interaction between a person, their environment, and behavior. This is called triadic reciprocal determination, and it's the behavior that is the result of the interplay among personal factors like our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, and environmental factors like our social influences, our peers, our physical surroundings, and our behavioral factors, which is our skill level, our habits, and consequences of actions. So self-efficacy, again, is the belief in one's ability to organize and execute the actions required to manage prospective situations. And it is central to SCT, or social cognitive theory. Without self-efficacy, motivation to change behavior is limited. It's built through mastery of experiences and social modeling, verbal persuasion, and interpretation of physiological states such as anxiety versus excitement. The anticipated consequences of a behavior are looking at the outcomes. A person must believe that the behavior will lead to a valued outcome, and the outcome is personally important. And reinforcement, it can be internal or external with praise and rewards. And reinforcement, it helps to shape our future behavior and sustain our motivation. There's also observational learning, or modeling. Individuals can learn new behaviors by observing others. That's especially powerful when the model is perceived as similar or credible, and the observed behavior is rewarded. Now, applications of SCT in health behavior change are commonly applied in interventions promoting physical activity and smoking cessation, healthy eating, and chronic disease management. And it's especially effective when programs build self-efficacy and use peer role models, as well as providing opportunities for goal setting and feedback. Now, the theory of reasoned action and theory of planned behavior is a theory that help explains why people do or do not engage in health-related behaviors, especially when those behaviors are under our volitional control. The core concept is really a behavioral intention, and so that is really looking at a person's intention to perform a behavior. That's the strongest predictor of whether they will actually do it. The stronger the intention, the more likely the behavior will be performed. So, theory of reasoned action, or TRA, there are two main influences that shape our behavioral intention, and one of those is attitude toward the behavior. Based on beliefs about outcomes and value placed on those outcomes, such as exercising will help me lose weight and I value being fit. And the subjective norms, these are influenced by beliefs about whether significant others think the behavior should be performed. For example, my family and friends support me becoming more active. Now, the theory of planned behavior, or TPB, is an extension of TRA that adds a third component, the perceived behavioral control. It reflects one's confidence in their ability to perform the behavior, and it takes into account barriers, opportunities, resources, and skills. For example, I have access to a gym and know how to create a workout plan. So what it all means, these attitudes and beliefs about the outcome and value of the behavior. Exercise will make me feel better. The subjective norms are beliefs about social approval or disapproval, and my perceived control is that confidence and ability to overcome challenges. And then the behavioral intention, the motivation and commitment to act. So all of this with applications in health behavior are using goal setting to increase perceived control and promoting positive attitudes through education, making sure to involve family and peer support to influence subjective norms, and addressing barriers to make intentions more actionable. The trans-theoretical model, also known as the stages of change model, describes the process an individual goes through when adopting a new health behavior or stopping a harmful one. It emphasizes that behavior change is a gradual, cyclical process and not a single event. So there are 6 stages of change. The first of those is pre-contemplation, and this is the stage where we are not ready and we don't have any intention of taking any action in the foreseeable future. We may be unaware of the need to change or feel discouraged by previous failed attempts. Here, what we need to do as professionals is raise awareness and personalize the risks. The second stage is contemplation, and in this stage, we're getting ready. We are aware a problem exists and seriously considering change. We're weighing the pros and cons of changing behavior and may intend to change within the next 6 months. So we need to encourage self-evaluation and exploring ambivalence. And preparation. Here, they're getting ready. This is where they're intending to take action in the immediate future. Within the next 30 days or so, they may have already taken small steps towards change. So they're researching gyms, they're buying the clothes and the shoes and all of the things that they need. Here, we need to help them in developing a clear action plan. And then it's time for action. So they are actively engaged in modifying behavior for less than 6 months. And you're starting to see behavior change occurring. They're starting to exercise regularly. Here, we need to make sure we're supporting and reinforcing and helping to identify and manage barriers. And then maintenance. This stage, they've been exercising for a period of time for more than 6 months. Now, the focus is on preventing relapse and integrating behavior into the lifestyle. We want to create long-term support systems and reinforce intrinsic motivation. And termination. Now, this is considered to be the final stage. And here, there's no temptation to return to the old behaviors. There's total confidence in maintaining new behavior. And not everyone reaches this stage. Some stay in maintenance long term. Now, a key concept in the trans-theoretical model is that relapse can occur at any stage, and it is viewed as part of the process and not failure. Your intervention should be stage matched and tailored to where the person currently is in the process. We'll continue the conversation in trans-theoretical model on the next slide. So change doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen the same way for everyone. The trans-theoretical model helps us understand how people move through those processes of behavior change. And with that, we have to look at it provides insight into the process of change, and it offers guidelines for developing intervention programs that meet people where they are. So we have to look at decisional balance, the weighing the pros and the cons. At every stage, individuals evaluate the benefits versus the costs of changing behavior. In early stages like contemplation, the cons often outweigh the pros. But as people move toward action, the perceived benefits start to increase and tip the scale towards change. Here, we want to help people explore the positives of change and reduce perceived barriers. Self-efficacy, the confidence in one's own ability to perform a behavior, especially in the face of obstacles. So in early stages, our confidence may be low. As individuals progress, their self-efficacy will grow, and with it, it increases their chances of lasting success. So we want to build confidence by helping them set small goals and celebrate progress and provide support. The trans-theoretical model recognizes that change is a process and not a single decision. By identifying where a person is in the journey, we can design a more effective and personalized program and support them through relapse and recycling, and increase the likelihood of long-term behavior change. When it comes to changing health behaviors, it's not just about individual choices. The ecological approach offers a comprehensive way to understand and support lasting change. So what is the ecological approach? This approach recognizes that behavior is influenced by multiple levels, not just personal decisions, but also the environments and societies around us. It emphasizes two key ideas. First, the developing of individual skills, helping people build the knowledge, confidence, and abilities they need to make healthy choices on their own. And then creating supportive environments, shaping communities, workplaces, schools, and policies that make healthy behaviors easier and more accessible. So when planning behavior change programs, the ecological approach encourages you to consider environmental and societal influences like access to parks, cultural norms, transportation, and socioeconomic factors that can either help or limit healthy choices. By combining skill building with changes to the environment and society, the ecological approach offers a powerful, holistic way to promote and sustain healthy behaviors. People stop exercising for many reasons, including perceptions and lifestyle factors. The belief that exercise has few health benefits, or some just don't see the value or impact. They have an inactive lifestyle and sedentary jobs that make starting harder. The lack of social support. Without encouragement for friends or family, our motivation tends to wane. Family problems and job responsibilities interfere with time and energy and inconvenience. The difficulty accessing facilities or fitting workouts into our busy schedules. And exercise-related barriers. The high-intensity workouts can feel overwhelming or intimidating. Low self-motivation. Without that internal drive, it's easy to quit. And depression. It can sap energy and interests. And low self-efficacy. Lack of self-confidence in one's ability to exercise successfully. And then the health and behavioral factors. The denial of the seriousness of one's health condition. When some don't feel that urgent need to change. The smoking, obesity, and certain personality traits like type A behavior pattern that can be linked to lower adherence. And then occupational and socioeconomic factors. The blue-collar workers that often face physical fatigue and irregular schedules that make consistent exercise challenging. By recognizing these barriers, we can tailor programs to be more flexible, supportive, and motivating, helping people overcome challenges rather than giving up. So we have to understand why people drop out of exercise in the first step to creating programs that keep them moving forward. So asking them, have they exercised before? What was the outcome? And what did they do? What happened to cause them to stop? Lasting change requires more than willpower. It requires support, accessibility, and empathy. So as we discuss exercise adherence, we are, as professionals, helping people to stick with their physical activity routines. Staying active is key for health, but it's not always easy to keep it going. And so we have to explore effective strategies to boost adherence using educational as well as behavioral approaches. So first, the educational approaches. These focus on increasing knowledge and understanding. When people really understand the benefits of exercise, they're more motivated to make it a part of their life. Some key benefits to highlight include improved heart health and better mood and reduced stress and increased energy and strength, weight management and disease prevention. By educating participants about these positive outcomes, we help them see exercise as not a chore, but an important tool for a healthier, happier life. And then the behavioral approaches. These are practical techniques to build and maintain exercise habits. A few of those strategies are reinforcement. Rewarding yourself when you reach exercise milestones helps keep motivation high. This could be something simple like a favorite healthy snack or a relaxing activity. Contracting, making a formal agreement with yourself or a trainer about your exercise goals increases our accountability. And self-monitoring, tracking your workouts through journals, apps, or fitness devices to see your progress and to stay on course. And goal setting. Setting clear, achievable goals helps you focus and measure success. Break big goals into smaller steps to avoid feeling overwhelmed. And enhancement of self-efficacy. This means building confidence in your ability to exercise regularly. Celebrate small wins, learn from setbacks, and remember that persistence pays off. So to sum up, boosting exercise adherence is all about educating people on why exercise matters and using behavioral tools to help them build lasting habits. By combining knowledge with practical strategies, we can empower anyone to stick with an active lifestyle. When it comes to helping people stick with their exercise routines, how we design their program matters just as much as the exercises themselves. So, some of the key elements of program design can make physical activity more enjoyable, accessible, and sustainable for participants. First, we want to increase social support. It's one of the most powerful motivators. When participants feel encouraged and connected, whether through friends, family, or group members, they're more likely to stay committed. Programs that foster community and teamwork create an environment where everyone feels supported. Finding convenient times and locations. So making sure that programs are offered at times and locations that work for participants. If a class is too early, too late, or too far away, attendance will drop. So flexibility and accessibility go a long way in removing barriers to participation. One thing that I've found important for myself is exercising in the afternoon. So take care of my work responsibilities, and then about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's my time to exercise. And I just make a date with myself to do that every day and try not to let anything get in the way of that. There are times when things come up and I'm not able to do that, but I try to be really good about it. Our goal setting and periodic assessment. So helping participants set clear, achievable goals gives them direction and purpose. It's not just enough to set the goals. Regular check-ins and assessments help track progress and celebrate success and adjust plans as needed. This keeps motivation high and shows participants that their efforts are paying off. And you need to be enthusiastic leaders. Having enthusiastic and positive leaders is crucial. A passionate instructor or coach who motivates and inspires can transform the experience. Their energy encourages participants to push through the challenges and enjoy the process. And strong communication and rapport. Good programs emphasize strong communication, listening to your participants' feedback, answering their questions, and providing clear guidance. Building a strong rapport with participants makes them feel valued and understood, creating a trusting environment that supports long-term commitment. And consider their individual needs and interests. Every participant is unique. Successful programs take into account individual needs, preferences, and interests. Tailor those activities so they're enjoyable and appropriate for each person. It increases their chances they'll keep coming back. In today's world, technology plays a huge role in supporting exercise adherence. With thousands of smartphone apps focused on health, fitness, and physical activity, we have more tools than ever to stay on track. These apps offer a lot of benefits. Easy accessibility. Most people already carry their phone everywhere, right? Adjustable to user needs. Many apps let you choose your workout types, the difficulty levels, and schedule reminders. And timely individualized feedback. Some apps track progress, offer encouragement, and even provide virtual coaching. But it's important to remember not all apps are created equal. Some lack solid foundations in health behavior change theory, which means they may not actually help people stick with their goals in the long term. So, do you use a smartphone app for exercise or wellness? And if so, which one do you use? How effective do you find it to be? And can you identify any health behavior theories it might be based on, such as the trans-theoretical model or social cognitive theory or the self-determination theory? When grounded in sound behavioral science, technology can be a powerful tool to support motivation, goal setting, and self-monitoring, and long-term behavior change. As program designers, educators, or users, we need to choose and recommend tech tools that actually work, not just the trendiest options. Key strategies that can significantly increase exercise adherence. We've talked a little bit about some of this. It doesn't just happen by accident. It takes intentional planning, support, and connection. So some of the effective tools we can use are goal setting. Setting clear, realistic goals gives participants direction and purpose, whether it's walking 30 minutes a day or preparing for a 5K. Goals provide a target to work toward, and that keeps people engaged. Effective communication. We need to prioritize this so that we're clear, encouraging, and informative when giving instruction, feedback, or support. When we have a well-communicated plan, it helps participants feel confident and capable. We need to utilize active listening. When truly listening to participants' concerns, their barriers, and feedback, we show that we care about their experience and not just about the performance. It helps to build trust and increases the likelihood they'll stick with their program. We need to tailor the programs to the individual needs. And so every individual we know is different. and their program should reflect that. So tailoring the experience to align with their personal interests, their fitness levels and goals helps ensure it's enjoyable, appropriate, and meaningful for each participant. And we need to monitor progress. It keeps motivation high by tracking improvement in strength, endurance, or consistency. It helps participants see how far they've come and remind them that their hard work is paying off. Another key piece is taking a collaborative approach. Instead of simply prescribing a plan, work with participants to build one together. Co-created programs foster commitment, ownership, and stronger sense of responsibility, and provide that social support. Never underestimate the power of encouragement from peers, family, or a fitness community, and making a difference between giving up and pushing forward. It's those support systems that help people stay positive and accountable and connected. And I think we're seeing that with our F45s and your fitness classes that you have. That support system is really important. So to sum it up, improving adherence means more than just telling people to exercise. It's about building relationships and setting meaningful goals and supporting the whole person. When we combine strong communication with personalization and encouragement, we empower individuals to build lifelong healthy habits. And that is all that I have for you today. I look forward to talking with you again. We'll continue our conversation in Chapter 9 coming up next.